Hello, this is Andrew from 510 Books, and I'm going to talk today about 5 ways, ways to find books for reselling on Amazon, specifically FBA. Of course, it could be merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by merchant, but let's stick to FBA. So if you're a newbie, these are the 5 ways that I recommend to start out to get out of the starting blocks fast. A little background. I have been reselling books and other media, but books specifically for 7.5, actually going on 8 years. It'll be 8 years this September on Amazon through FBA. That's how I started with FBA fulfilled by Amazon. If you're not sure what FBA is, go and find out. Google's your friend for sure. So I will talk about 5 ways. These are in no particular order, although I do have my favorites. But let's start out with library book sales. Library book sales are usually put on by the Friends of the Library. Often public libraries will have an offshoot called Friends of the Library, and they will collect books. The library will get donations. They'll acquire books, but usually they're donations. And then they'll have so many that they will often have a little store in the library, a little bookstore. And then in addition to that, they will put on an annual, quarterly, monthly, it depends, book sale. Now, this is a great place to go when you start because there's a lot of books. The downside is there's also a lot of a lot of resellers going to these same book sales, usually, especially the bigger ones that have 5, 10, 20,000 or more books at their sale. So keep that in mind that there's more than likely going to be other resellers who are going to be scanning away just like yourself, and that you will be elbow to elbow with them, and you have to be comfortable with that type of thing. So regardless, I think you should go anyway to see if it's something that you enjoy and something that in your area makes sense. Not every library book sale is the same. Not everyone is worth the effort. You will see as you go to different ones. I've been to dozens of them, and out of 10, maybe 2 or 3 are worth going back to. So keep that in mind. Now, you might ask, where do I find these library book sales? Well, you can go to your local library and ask, or you can go to a website called, what is it called? Here, I'll just show you. Hold on. Is it .com? .com. Now, you can just go to Google, and it'll go to book sale finder to the homepage. And depending on where you live in the US, there is a map. So I'm in California. So I would click on California. Is that Northern California? That's Northern California. But I would click on Southern California. It's got all these ads as well. But here, when you scroll down, you can see upcoming, based on the dates, upcoming sales. So it'll list all the cities. Let's say you want to go to Santa Rosa. You click on Santa Rosa, and that pops up, and it'll tell you all about it here, right there. So basically just find your state, your location, and look for all of the library sales. Now, if you live in a rural area, if you live in an area that does not have a very large population, of course, you're probably not going to find that many library sales. You might have to drive a little ways. If you live in a large metropolitan area, you might find dozens of them, 10 of them, 20. It depends. Of course, we are coming out of a pandemic. Before the pandemic, this was packed with sales. There's library book sales that are starting to come back. Some have already come back, etc. So keep that in mind as well. But yes, you can find a lot of books. I've scored many, many books at library book sales that I can sell on Amazon FBA. Now, the second one are estate sales. Estate sales, I think, are potentially the best because there can be really quality stuff there. And it depends on the prices. Some estate sale companies, if it's run by a company, will price things too high. But an estate sale is a great place to go as well to find books. Almost every estate sale you go to will have at least one shelf or even bookshelves of books. And usually, that's the other great thing about books, usually they will be priced pretty low. Usually. It depends. Unless the person's specialized in books and they have tons of them, then they might be priced a little bit higher. Also with estate sales, often they will run more than one day. They'll often go 2, if not 3 days. Sometimes they'll go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday. And the last day, often things are priced half off. And a pro tip, if you go on the last day, doesn't mean there's nothing left, because a lot of people will have left things, or not a lot of resellers will have gone through there. You can say, hey, it's end of the sale. What would you charge me to take all the books? You can take all of them. So where do you go for estate sales? Go to estatesales.net. Hold on. Okay, this is estatesales.net. Now, if you go, I already did it, I believe. Did I do it? Yeah. So if you go up here and punch in, your area code, that's your zip code, it will pop up below. And you can see there's a map. You can decide how many miles you want it to go. So I have 15 miles. Let's go out a little further. 25 miles. Now there's even more. And as you scroll down, you will start to see estate sales. And the cool thing about this is you click on it and there's usually a lot of photos. So you can see this one, clearly there's jewelry, but you can see what you're going to, whether or not they even have books. Let's see. Seeing a bunch of stuff. Anyway, here's one. Estate sale. Oh, that's an auction. Well, anyway, so they'll have lots of pictures. So you can decide whether or not to go. So you can decide, yeah. So once you find an estate sale, definitely go. Oftentimes, if it's a big estate sale and there's a lot of quality items, there will be a big line. So you might want to show up a little bit early. Some people like to go the second day, the third day, and not bother with all the crowds. Just depends on your style. So definitely check out that website, estatesales.net. And then a third one is garage or yard sales. This might be a no-brainer, but often, so a couple things. When you go to garage sales or yard sales, the great thing about them is you can haggle. If they're charging $1 a book, you can say, can I pay 50 cents? Which is a little ridiculous because $1 is not much, but you can haggle. You can say, how much for all of your books? Let's say they have a couple hundred books, and they're charging $1 a piece, 200 books, which would be $200. You say, I'll give you $40 for all your books, or I'll give you $30, or whatever deal you make. Oftentimes people just want books to go away because they're large, they're heavy, and not a lot of people are going to buy them anyway at their garage sale or yard sale. So keep that in mind as well. Another pro tip, you can go to a website that I use often. There's also an app for garage sales or yard sales. Let me show that to you so you can find stuff locally. So this site is gsalr.com. They also own other sites like Yard Sale and other domains, but this is the one that I usually use. This is one where I actually post for my local book and media sale. Let's see. So you go on here and you put in your zip code, and up pops a map. Of course, there's not much now. It's a Tuesday, but when you click on one here, it'll pop up and show you moving sale Saturday and Sunday, and then you can take a look at it closely, and it will show you. This one doesn't have any pictures, but they will tell you what they have. Games. Look, they have books and movies, and it will show you when they are open, when they're having it. Saturday 7 to 1, Sunday 7 to 10, and that's a great way to find sales. So that's a great site that I use. Like I said, it's on your phone as well. They have an app you can download, and you can easily go around from sale to sale. You can plan ahead. Usually check by Thursday at least, because a lot of people will do Friday, and then also a lot of people will only do Saturday or Sunday. So definitely check out that website. I've listed on there for my local sale. It does bring a lot of people, and like I said, they have they have other domains, but it's a great place to find garage sales. The other one, of course, is thrift stores. So number 4, I haven't been keeping count. So number 1, library book sales. Number 2, estate sales. Number 3, garage and yard sales. Number 4, thrift stores. So definitely use Google or Google Maps to find thrift stores in your area. That's really, there's not really like a go-to app or go-to website to find thrift stores. I have come across a couple of websites. One that I don't remember the domain, but I do remember finding one that had thrift stores listed. However, thrift stores often come and go. Some of them don't last. Some of them they close up. So I've seen lots of thrift stores close since I've been reselling for almost 8 years. So definitely look on Google, go around to the different thrift stores. Another thing is, if you're comfortable with it, or even if you're uncomfortable, I highly recommend talking to the manager or owner if it's a small thrift store, and trying to get to know them, building a positive relationship with them, and trying to find out if you can be the person that gets access to their books before anyone else. That's the best relationship, because thrift stores often get bombarded with books more than they can handle, and they end up having to recycle them, throw them out, and get rid of them. Number 5, now, these are not ones I have done, but I've seen people and heard people that have had a lot of success with them, and they make sense. The first one is, these are kind of two together here, is posting ads locally on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, the Nextdoor app or website, saying that you pick up books. It's a free service. This works pretty well initially when you list it, and then sometimes you probably have to just keep listing it over and over again, try to build a customer base of people that'll go to you. I have that with my local sale. I've also run ads for that, and it does work. People will donate books to me, or I've picked up from dozens of houses and condos and apartments, and not a storage unit yet, but lots and lots of places. I've literally picked up thousands of books and other media, thousands, over the years. Another one to consider, which I have not done, but I have looked into briefly, and I do know that people focus on this, are storage unit auctions, or I should say online storage unit auctions. You can go to them in person as well, but you can do it from your home, from your computer, I assume from your phone. Let me show you one domain that I found where you can go and auction, or you can bid on these storage units. Now, keep in mind, this might be a little more tedious. Most units, I won't say most, probably a fair amount are going to have books or other media. They're going to have something. They're going to have some books. They're going to have some CDs, maybe DVDs, maybe records. That's just pretty common that a lot of them are going to have a box or two of that. Now, are you going to find one where it's just all books or all CDs or all records? You might, but it's probably less likely. So keep that in mind. It's going to be hunting and pecking and really looking at the pictures and trying to figure it out. The other thing is, when you buy a unit like this, even if you get it for dirt cheap, you've got to clear it out pretty fast. So if there's some big stuff in there, you're going to have to plan ahead and make sure you have a truck or moving truck or something, and a way to get rid of that stuff. So here's a domain to go to. This is one I found called storagetreasures.com. If you have more experience with this, maybe you will know better than me if this is any good. So you put your zip code here in this search box. It searches for you, and then here, all these popped up near me within 50 miles anyway. Hawthorne's a little far, but here's one. So it'll give you some photos. If you click on it, it'll show you some of this. One is apparently just a refrigerator. Let's see something that has a bunch of stuff in it. Here's one. $110 bid, which seems to have a bunch of different stuff. Anyway, the concept is you can look at the photos and get an idea at least of what's in there, and it'll also tell you furniture, boxes, miscellaneous. And this one has $110 bid on there. So that's another way to potentially find books. So that's 5 different ways, technically 6, but the first 4 are the ones that I've used the most, which are library sales, estate sales, garage and yard sales, and thrift stores. The other 2, definitely try those out as well. Hopefully this helped you out. If you're new to reselling or flipping books on Amazon FBA, use those first 4 tips and really go for it, and you'll be surprised in the first month or so, you can find a lot of books. So definitely get out there and go for it. And subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel. I post videos about reselling books and media. And stay safe. See you in the next video.